rubbish. I've been investigating this for about 30 years. William Wallace's wife was called Marion. Robin Hood's wife was Maid Marian. William Wallace wore a suit of green. Robin Hood is noted for wearing Lincoln green. The enemy of Robin Hood was the Sheriff of Nottingham. The enemy of William Wallace was the Sheriff of Ayr, Hazelrig, who murdered his wife, Marion. Robin Hood, his most faithful friend was Little John. The most faithful friend of William Wallace was a guy called John Graham. The story just goes on and on and on with all the coincidences between the two of them. So I put it to you that the legend of Robin Hood is actually based on William Wallace. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit about what happened with William Wallace. He was actually captured in Rob Royston in Glasgow after a pact was made in the old Rutherglen Kirk in the 5th of August 1305. Now, these days to get from Glasgow and London, you can get down here in the train in about 4.5 hours. But these days it took 3 weeks. It took 3 weeks after they captured Wallace to bring him down to London. When he got down to London, they put Wallace up in a house in Fenchurch Street in London, on the 22nd of August 1305. The following day, it was a kangaroo court. He was put in front of so-called judges and was sentenced to be executed. He wasn't even allowed to give any defence whatsoever. Justice here has not changed much in a long time. You don't get justice. So anyway, quickly after he was sentenced, he was put on a stretcher and he was brought all the way along here to Smithfield, where he was brutally hung, drawn and quartered. The head of William Wallace was put on a spike in London Bridge. 4/4 of his body were sent to various areas of England and Scotland. Now, even although Wallace was brutally executed, they created a martyr. The spirit of William Wallace will never die. He stood for what was right. He stood for the defence of his country. And I would appeal to any decent English person, if your country was invaded, I think you have the right to defend it. It's time that the people of England became more patriotic about England, because you have been absorbed under the British imperialist state. England at the moment does not have full status as a nation. On your passport it says you're British. I would appeal again to the people of England, if you want full status as a nation, you've got to go for independence. It's the only way. You're never going to get a fair deal under the British imperialist system. Money that could be spent for the people of England, the people of Wales, the people of Ireland, would be best spent here, not in all the foreign wars that the British imperialists get involved in. They spend all this money going overseas, invading other countries and killing people. We've got to stop it. We've got to get people to get together and create a situation where people in Wales, Ireland, Scotland and England stand up patriotically for their own country. Now I'm going to show you here, this t-shirt here is the Wise Alliance. This stands for Wales, Ireland, Scotland, England. The wise alliance. Wales, Ireland, Scotland, England against British imperialism. We've got to get all the people of these nations to stand up